Chosen one. This is why God chose you to be rich. God funded it. This message is not a coincidence. It's confirmation. You didn't just stumble across these words. They were delivered to you. Every moment of lack, every delay, every struggle was preparation for a divine assignment that money alone could never fulfill. But now, that energy is shifting. The heavens have decided that the time has come for abundance to move through you, not just to you. You were chosen to be the vessel of divine wealth because your heart was refined in lack. The universe, God, Source, whatever name you give it, doesn't fund greed. It funds purpose. And now, that purpose has your name on it. Before we go deeper, I want you to pause for a moment, take a breath, and listen till the end. There's a reason this message found you today. This isn't just about material wealth, it's about spiritual alignment. So watch until the final word. And if this energy resonates with you, write your warmest wishes and the sacred number 144 in the comments. That number activates your connection to the divine current of manifestation. It symbolizes unity between your intention, your faith, and the universal flow of abundance. This is a chapter where wishes turn into reality, where your energy calls miracles into existence. Now listen. The reason God chose you to be rich is because you proved you could be trusted with power. You carried faith in seasons of nothing. You gave when you barely had enough for yourself. You stayed kind when bitterness would have been easier. You didn't abandon your heart to become like the world. And that's why heaven marked you. Wealth doesn't flow to the strongest or the smartest. It flows to the aligned. It flows to the ones who know how to carry it with humility. You are not being rewarded for surviving. You are being activated for leading. The divine didn't forget you. It was watching your integrity in silence. Every tear you cried when no one saw. Every prayer you whispered when it felt like nothing was changing. Every "why me" you asked in the middle of the storm. Those moments were your investment. You were depositing energy into a spiritual account. And now that account is maturing. You're about to witness the return on faith. God doesn't just bless randomly. He funds His own vision. And His vision needs vessels. You are that vessel. Your wealth is not random. It's backed by heaven. There's something sacred about divine timing. When you tried to create success on your own, doors didn't open because they weren't supposed to. You were still building the character to hold the blessing. Divine wealth isn't about the money you make. It's about the person you become while receiving it. If abundance came too early, it would have crushed you. But now, after everything, you're ready. You can handle both the weight and the responsibility of being chosen. Understand this. Being chosen doesn't mean being lucky. It means being refined. You were trained in obscurity for influence in visibility. You were hidden for a reason. The years of isolation were not punishment. They were preservation. The world could not see you until your frequency matched your purpose. Now, it does. The reason wealth is coming is because your energy has finally reached a frequency where it can sustain divine flow. When God funds something, it doesn't fail. That's why this next chapter won't feel like the old one. You won't have to hustle from fear anymore. You won't have to force doors open. You won't have to beg for opportunities. The things you used to chase will begin to find you. Because your vibration now emits clarity. This is what divine funding looks like. Grace replacing grind. Flow replacing force. Peace replacing panic. This is not about greed. It's about responsibility. Divine wealth has one requirement: stewardship. It's not enough to receive it. You must multiply it with consciousness. You've been through too much to waste what's coming. That's why God waited until now. He had to make sure you could discern the difference between a blessing and a distraction, between wealth and noise, between opportunity and illusion. When you start to receive this divine funding, it won't look like a lottery win. It will look like alignment. Ideas that once felt far away will suddenly make sense. People with resources will start showing up in your path. Conversations will open new possibilities. And you'll realize that wealth isn't money chasing you, it's purpose, finding its form. Money is the language of energy, and energy follows intention. You are now broadcasting clarity, faith, and readiness. That's why everything is about to change. The divine doesn't just give riches to anyone, it invests in the ones who know how to use it for light. Your purpose is bigger than your comfort. The wealth being prepared for you isn't just for luxury, it's for legacy. You are being funded to build, to help, to create, to uplift. This is divine economics, wealth that circulates through you to raise the vibration of others. That's why your blessing is protected. Because it's not only for you, it's meant to flow through you. So yes, the abundance you feel approaching isn't imagination, it's activation. The reason you sense a shift in your energy, the reason your spirit feels restless, the reason you keep seeing signs and synchronicities is because the heavens have already approved the transfer. It's not pending, it's processing. This is why everything that once felt blocked is suddenly moving. The delays weren't denials. They were divine timing syncing with your readiness. The doors that were locked weren't locked to hurt you. They were sealed to protect your destiny from premature access. The moment you stopped begging and started believing, the universe began moving resources on your behalf. The chosen are not funded because they are perfect. They are funded because they are prepared. You have the discipline to manage it, the humility to honor it, and the vision to expand it. You've proven that your intentions are clean. That's why everything is aligning so fast now. Heaven doesn't invest where ego lives, it invests where purpose breathes. You are entering a divine contract, not of debt, but of destiny. When you receive what's coming, remember this truth. You were never meant to just be rich. You were meant to represent divine wealth. There's a difference. The world chases riches for status. You receive abundance for service. The vibration of your prosperity heals. It shifts rooms, restores hope, awakens others. That's why God chose you. Every time you doubted your worth, you forgot this truth. You were never chosen because you were flawless. You were chosen because you were faithful. And faith is the currency heaven understands best. The divine has already written your name next to funded. The resources are moving. The timing is aligning. The people are being positioned. What you've been waiting for is already waiting for you to walk in alignment with it. This is not a promise for someday. This is a confirmation for now. Your soul already knows it. You've entered a chapter where divine wealth is no longer a dream. It's a design. The energy of prosperity isn't something you chase anymore. It's something you attract naturally because your vibration has risen to meet it. This is not a coincidence. This is divine orchestration. For too long, you were surrounded by the illusion that wealth was only for the privileged or the powerful. But the truth is, heaven funds faith, not status. The universe doesn't reward manipulation or greed. It multiplies purpose. And your purpose has reached the point where it needs resources to expand. This is the difference between material wealth and divine wealth. Material wealth looks like accumulation. Divine wealth looks like acceleration. When heaven funds you, things that used to take years happen in months, and things that felt impossible begin to flow naturally. You are no longer manifesting from effort, but from embodiment. Your energy has become the currency of creation. And right here, before we continue deeper, I want you to take a breath and stay with me until the very end of this message. Because the vibration in these words is unlocking something in you. This is a moment of activation, not just information. So if your spirit feels this truth, write your warmest wishes and the sacred number 144 in the comments below. This is your way of signaling to the universe that you are open, aligned, and ready to receive. When you write it, you release energy into motion. Your wishes echo into the divine current of abundance, sending a signal that your time has come. Now, chosen one, listen carefully. God didn't choose you to be rich so that you could escape the world. He chose you to change it. Your abundance isn't about separation, it's about elevation. You are meant to show others that prosperity and purity can coexist. You are the evidence that wealth can flow through clean hands, through a kind heart, through a healed soul. Divine funding requires divine character, and that's why the process took time. Heaven had to make sure your hands were steady enough to hold what's sacred. Every lesson you faced in lack taught you stewardship. Every disappointment trained your discernment. Every moment of waiting shaped your wisdom. That's why the coming wealth will not destroy you. It will reveal you. When you receive what's meant for you, you won't become someone else. You'll finally become yourself. This is the beauty of divine wealth. It doesn't inflate the ego. It amplifies the essence. The world will look at your success and call it luck, but you'll know its legacy. Because what's about to happen is not random. It's written. God funded it long before you saw a glimpse of it. You were being developed in silence for years while heaven arranged the details. The universe works like that. It hides the chosen until the right vibration arrives. It tests, it refines, it strengthens, and when everything aligns, it releases. You're in that release season now. You've passed the tests that once broke you. You no longer crave validation. You no longer measure your worth by comparison. You no longer seek attention. Your focus has become your frequency. That's why everything is beginning to flow. You've proven you can be trusted with power without losing your peace. And that's exactly why divine wealth is finally finding its way to you. You see, divine wealth isn't just numbers in a bank account. It's the expansion of your being. It's when your energy becomes magnetic to solutions, to people, to miracles. It's when your presence begins to open doors before you even speak. Because you carry the vibration of completion now. You are walking evidence that surrender and success can exist together. You've learned that manifestation isn't about control, it's about cooperation. You no longer beg the universe for what you want. You align with it. You've stopped asking, when will it happen, and started saying, I am ready. That shift in language changes everything. The moment you stopped chasing and started allowing, divine wealth began its journey toward you. This is why, right now, ideas are coming faster. Clarity feels stronger. Intuition feels louder. You're not imagining it. It's divine confirmation. The creative energy of the universe is flowing through you like current through a wire. You are being used as a channel, a transmitter of abundance, and that current will never run dry because its source is eternal. But here's what you must understand. Divine funding doesn't always look like money at first. Sometimes it shows up as vision, as connections, as synchronicities that redirect your path. When you meet the right people, when you receive sudden insights, when everything starts to align effortlessly, that's funding. That's the universe moving currency in non-physical form. Money is only one expression of energy. The real wealth is alignment. The divine doesn't give you resources until your vibration matches responsibility. And now, it does. You've reached the level of self-mastery where the universe can trust you to receive without losing yourself. The higher the blessing, the higher the accountability. And that's why you had to walk through the fire, so that when the gold arrived, it wouldn't burn you. You've noticed how your relationship with money has changed. It no longer feels like something outside of you. It feels like an extension of you. Because money is energy, and energy responds to intention. When you think with clarity, act with gratitude, and move with integrity, wealth becomes your reflection. It no longer feels like chasing. It feels like flowing. The chosen ones experience wealth differently. It doesn't just improve their circumstances, it transforms their consciousness. It becomes an act of creation, a way to shape the world around them. That's why your abundance is inevitable, because your energy serves a greater good. When your intentions align with collective upliftment, the universe moves faster. You're not taking from the world, you're feeding it. This is what it means when we say, God funded it. It means heaven has already approved the vision. You're not begging for resources, you're walking into what's already paid for in the spiritual realm. The blueprint has been built. Now you're stepping into the construction. Every opportunity that appears is part of that structure. Every connection, every door, every sudden yes, it's all part of divine logistics. You may not see the full picture yet, but the funding is already flowing. You can feel it. There's a reason your energy feels lighter, your ideas sharper, your intuition louder. You're being pulled into alignment with what's already yours, and the closer you get, the more everything that doesn't belong begins to fall away. That's not loss, that's preparation. Every time something or someone exits your life during this phase, remember, God only clears space when He's ready to deliver something greater. You are not losing. You are making room. The universe is reorganizing itself to accommodate your expansion. The old energy cannot coexist with the new. That's why it feels like things are shifting so fast, because your frequency is evolving faster than ever before. Soon, you'll notice that even the way people respond to you changes. Some will feel magnetized to your energy. Others will retreat. That's how vibration works. It reveals alignment. Don't chase acceptance where your frequency no longer fits. Your abundance doesn't need permission to exist. You've already earned your seat at the table by your perseverance, by your faith, by your integrity. The divine didn't choose you to show off. It chose you to show what's possible. You are the living proof that faith multiplies. You're the example that wealth can be sacred, that success can be soul-led, that prosperity can coexist with peace. That's why you were trusted with this calling. The world doesn't need more rich people. It needs more anointed ones. You will begin to see this truth unfold in your everyday life. The divine funding will appear as ease. Opportunities will feel lighter. Decisions will feel clearer. And support will come from unexpected directions. This is not magic. This is mastery. You've aligned your inner world so deeply that the outer world has no choice but to reflect it. That's divine economics in motion. And so, chosen one, don't question it when the blessings accelerate. Don't sabotage it by wondering if you're worthy. The divine doesn't invest in mistakes. You were chosen on purpose, for purpose. The abundance coming isn't a reward. It's a responsibility. A reminder that you carry something sacred that the world needs. What's about to happen in your life is not just success. It's synchronization. It's heaven meeting earth through your hands. It's purpose meeting prosperity. It's divine funding manifesting in motion. This is your inheritance. This is your confirmation. This is your calling being financed by the highest source. You were chosen, and heaven has already signed the agreement. By now, the truth has begun to settle into your spirit. You are not waiting for wealth to appear. You are remembering that it was already written for you. The divine doesn't give wealth as a surprise. It reveals it as a birthright. What's happening in your life right now is not random prosperity. It's the activation of a promise. You're entering the realm where abundance is no longer an external pursuit, but an internal frequency. The wealth you are about to walk in was never meant to make you superior. It was meant to make you sovereign. You see, when heaven funds something, it's not for vanity. It's for vision. Your journey was not about surviving poverty. It was about becoming conscious of purpose. Every closed door taught you the value of discernment. Every delay purified your motives. Every loss expanded your capacity. Because divine wealth doesn't just fill your hands, it expands your heart. The greater your heart, the greater your reach. And that's why you've been called to carry this frequency, to show that prosperity can be pure when it's aligned with purpose. For a long time, you misunderstood wealth as something you had to chase. You were told to work harder, hustle longer, grind endlessly, and yet, no matter how much effort you gave, something still felt missing. That missing piece was not money, it was meaning. Now, you understand. Wealth is not what you do, it's who you become. It's the embodiment of alignment. When your energy matches divine order, everything else finds its way to you. When you were being refined, it wasn't punishment, it was protection. The divine couldn't release the blessing until you were ready to handle it. Imagine giving an inheritance to a child who doesn't yet understand its value. They'd waste it. But you, chosen one, have matured. You've learned that true abundance isn't just what you possess, it's what you sustain. You've become a vessel strong enough to carry legacy. That's why God chose you. And this is why the flow you're stepping into now will not end. Because divine funding never runs dry. It moves through cycles, through purpose, through alignment. You will notice this shift in your life. Money will begin to come to you in ways that feel natural, almost effortless. Not because you're lucky, but because you're aligned. You've entered the rhythm of divine circulation, where giving and receiving are no longer separate acts, but one motion. You will start to see the difference between struggle and strategy. Struggle happens when you try to control the outcome. Strategy happens when you align with divine flow. When you act from fear, you chase. When you act from faith, you attract. You've learned the art of surrender, the power of letting the universe move through you instead of trying to move against it. This is divine partnership, and it's why things are about to move quickly in your favor. Your wealth journey is sacred. It's not about accumulation, it's about activation. Each resource that comes your way has a purpose attached to it. The more aware you are of that purpose, the more the universe multiplies it. That's why consciousness is the true currency of abundance. When you operate from awareness, you stop leaking energy through doubt, worry, or fear. You become magnetic, and when your energy becomes magnetic, wealth becomes inevitable. Notice how things have already started to align differently. The ideas coming to you now are not random thoughts. They are downloads from the divine. The people crossing your path aren't coincidences, they are carriers of your next opportunity. Every conversation, every insight, every intuitive nudge is part of a divine blueprint being fulfilled through you. That's how heaven funds vision, not by dropping money out of the sky, but by surrounding you with strategy, resources, and alignment. But remember this: divine funding requires discipline. Not the kind of discipline born from fear, but from awareness. You are now a manager of energy, not just finances. The universe trusts you with more because you no longer waste your attention on distractions. You've stopped entertaining chaos, and that decision alone opened the floodgates of blessing. The moment you protected your peace, prosperity began looking for you. You'll find that your wealth doesn't just improve your circumstances, it changes your state of being. You start walking differently, thinking differently, responding differently. You no longer rush decisions, you sense alignment. You no longer chase approval, you move with conviction. That's what wealth consciousness looks like. Not arrogance, but awareness. It's when you stop asking, "What do I need?" and start asking, "What am I here to create?" Because divine wealth is not passive, it's purposeful. It doesn't stop at your doorstep. It ripples outward. You'll notice your blessings multiply when you use them to bless others. This is divine law. What you circulate expands. The moment you give from alignment, not obligation, the universe replenishes you with more than you released. You can't outgive divine flow. Every act of generosity sends a signal to the universe. I trust your supply. And the universe responds by saying, then let it flow. This is how God funds purpose. Not through mere miracles, but through movement. When you act in alignment, heaven amplifies your action. When you move in faith, the universe moves resources to meet you halfway. That's why this next season of your life will not be defined by what you earn, but by what you embody. You are stepping into energetic wealth, the kind that attracts material abundance effortlessly. And when it begins, you'll feel the shift first in your spirit. You'll wake up lighter, clearer, more certain. You'll feel guided to make changes you once feared. You'll notice your energy repelling what no longer aligns and drawing in everything that does. This isn't coincidence, it's divine calibration. Your inner world is setting the tone for your outer world. Some people will see your rise and misunderstand it. They'll think you changed. But the truth is, you remembered who you are. You're not becoming someone new. You're becoming the version of yourself that always existed beneath the struggle. The one that knew abundance wasn't a dream, but a destiny. The one that knew faith wasn't weakness, but wealth in spiritual form. Understand this: divine wealth doesn't make you different. It makes you whole. It restores the parts of you that scarcity tried to break. It reconnects you to the truth that you are already complete. Money, opportunities, success, they don't add to your worth. They reflect it. You were always valuable. Abundance is simply the mirror showing you that truth. You are now being called to walk as a divine steward. You are not just meant to receive blessings, you are meant to direct them. You are the channel through which divine prosperity flows into the physical world. This is why your life had to take the turns it did, so you would understand the value of compassion, integrity, and alignment. The universe can now trust you to lead with light. As the flow of wealth begins to expand, stay anchored. The higher the elevation, the deeper the roots must grow. Don't allow the noise of the world to pull you from the rhythm of grace. Protect your frequency as you would protect your vision. Guard your peace like a treasure, because it is one. The moment you trade peace for pressure, you interrupt divine flow. So keep your energy clean. Keep your intentions pure. Keep your faith steady. Because the same force that brought you this far will sustain you through the expansion. You are walking into a level of divine wealth that cannot be taken, because it was never earned. It was ordained. Your success will not be loud, but it will be undeniable. It won't be built on noise, but on knowing. People will wonder how you did it, but you'll know you didn't do it alone. Heaven funded it. And when you look back at everything you've survived, you'll realize that every storm, every silence, every season of waiting was worth it, because it built the foundation for what's about to rise. You are not preparing for wealth. You are walking in it. This is not the beginning of your blessing. It's the revelation of what has always been yours. By now, the vibration of truth is no longer just something you hear. It's something you feel. You can sense it in your body, deep in your spirit. There's a calm certainty that didn't exist before. The days of confusion, of wondering whether you're meant for more, are over. You know now. You are not guessing your way through destiny. You are walking in divine instruction. The very cells of your being are aligning with abundance. Your energy has matured, and the universe can finally reveal what it's been holding for you. You've stepped into a new rhythm, a rhythm of creation, of flow, of trust. It doesn't move like the world moves. The world chases. You attract. The world competes. You collaborate. The world strives. You synchronize. And that's because your wealth was never meant to be earned through struggle. It was meant to be expressed through faith. You were chosen to demonstrate that success can exist without sacrifice of soul. You are proof that spiritual integrity and material abundance can walk together, hand in hand. Now that divine funding is flowing, it's time to understand why. God didn't choose you to be rich just to decorate your life with comfort. He chose you to distribute light. The resources that are entering your life are not just rewards, they're tools. You're being given access, not for ego, but for expansion. Heaven funds purpose, not performance. The abundance that is about to move through you will touch far more lives than your own. You are the connector, the bridge between spiritual consciousness and physical creation. This next chapter of your wealth journey is about embodiment. It's about carrying prosperity in your energy, not just in your account. You don't need to announce it. People will feel it. Your vibration will speak louder than any words ever could. This is the frequency of divine influence, subtle yet undeniable. You will walk into spaces and shift the atmosphere without effort, because your presence will radiate alignment. That's what it means to be funded by God. Your energy becomes an instrument of elevation. But with elevation comes responsibility. Divine wealth is not passive. It asks you to stay intentional. Every choice you make now carries more weight. Every thought you hold now shapes more quickly. The higher your frequency, the faster your manifestations. That's why awareness is your true currency in this phase. What you focus on expands instantly. So guard your mind, protect your vision, and surround yourself with environments that reflect your new vibration. You'll notice that as your wealth grows, your desires evolve. The things that once excited you no longer hold the same power. You're drawn to peace more than prestige, purpose more than possessions. This is how divine wealth works. It purifies your desires until only what serves your soul remains. You're not chasing external validation anymore. You're nurturing internal expansion. You've moved from wanting to impress to wanting to impact. And in that shift, you finally realize true wealth was never about having more, but about becoming more.